TSA Secrets. 14 airport tricks agents use to catch you. Hey travelers, if you love discovering travel secrets, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell right now for more tips and fun stories. Today we're counting down 14 TSA secrets, the tricks airport security agents use to catch you. From quirky code words to high-tech scanners, some of these will surprise even frequent flyers. Let's dive in and stick around for number 1, the one thing you should never joke about at an airport.
14. They're watching your body language like a hawk.
Ever feel like you're being watched in the security line? You are. TSA agents are trained to scan your body language from the moment you step in line. Excessive fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, or even exaggerated yawning and whistling can raise red flags. They're looking for any telltale sign of nerves or deception. So next time you're in line trying to play it cool, remember, the TSA has eyes on you. Sweaty brow? Shaking hands? A bit too much chit-chat with your travel buddy? They notice. In fact, TSA once launched a program called SPOT, Screening Passengers by Observation Techniques, specifically for behavior detection. Critics say it's not perfect, but agents still rely on it. If you do happen to look shifty, what's the next trick they'll pull on you? It might start with a friendly, hello, which brings us to number 13.
13. The friendly small talk is actually a trap.
Morning, off to somewhere fun? Ever had a TSA agent get chatty with you at 6 a.m. when you've barely had coffee? They're not just being friendly. It's a tactic. Agents might strike up casual small talk to gauge your reactions.
The idea is that an innocent traveler will respond normally, while a guilty one might stumble over a simple business or pleasure question. If you snap back rudely or start sweating when asked about your trip, you're only inviting more scrutiny. On the flip side, don't be overly enthusiastic either. Showing too much interest in the agent can look suspicious too. Agents talking to you is one thing, but what about when they're talking to each other? That's number 12. 12. Secret code words and signals. If you hear a TSA officer casually say Hotel Papa or call out a random number like 39, that might not be small talk. Some former TSA agents have said those were code words for attractive passengers. And sometimes, if a passenger was being especially annoying, an agent might say, very nice, a sarcastic code to give them extra screening. It's not all about looks. Those scribbles on your boarding pass or quick gestures between agents can be secret handoffs too. If they think you're suspicious, they have discreet ways of letting the next officer know. Speaking of teamwork, how do they stay sharp enough to catch all this stuff? That's number 11.
11. They constantly switch stations to stay sharp. Ever notice how one TSA officer checks IDS, then a little later they're manning the X-ray or scanner? That's intentional. Agents rotate tasks every 20 to 30 minutes. It keeps them alert, prevents fatigue, and makes it harder for anyone to game the system.
Think of it as musical chairs with uniforms. 1 minute they're yelling, laptops in the bin, and the next, they're waving you through the metal detector. It's all about fresh eyes catching fresh details. But what if they quietly flag you? Sometimes it's as simple as scribbling on your boarding pass. That's number 10.
10. Secret notes on your boarding pass. When the officer hands back your ID and boarding pass with a smile, take a look. Sometimes there are tiny initials, numbers, or scribbles. That's not random doodling. It's communication.
Those marks can mean ID checked, something looked off, or give this one a closer look. To you, it's a squiggle. To the next TSA officer, it's a red flag. And if you see 4 big letters printed on your pass, SSSS, you're in for a ride. That's number 9. 9. The infamous SSSS boarding pass. If your boarding pass says SSSSS, it means Secondary Security Screening Selection. It's the lottery no one wants to win. It means extra bag checks, pat-downs, and swabs. Sometimes it's random, sometimes it's based on your travel profile, like last-minute one-way tickets. If you do get SSSS, plan extra time. It can take anywhere from a few minutes to half an hour. Frequent travelers who get it often can apply for a redress number to avoid it.
But if you get pulled aside, you'll probably meet the full body scanner. How much can it really see? Let's talk number 8.
8. Full body scanners see a lot.
Step into the scanner, raise your arms, and the machine does its thing. These scanners don't show your naked body anymore. They show a generic outline, but they do flag anomalies. Anything taped to your body or hidden under clothes gets highlighted.
Bulky hairdos, money belts, or even certain clothing folds can show up as suspicious. That's why sometimes you'll get a pat down on your head or waistband, even if you have nothing weird. And if you pass the scanner, don't relax yet. Sometimes they whip out a swab. That's number 7.
7. The random explosive swab test.
Out of nowhere, an officer might swab your hands, laptop, or bag. That little patch is tested for traces of explosives. The machine can pick up microscopic chemical residues. Even fireworks residue from a holiday party could trigger it. Usually it's random, but it's a powerful deterrent. If the machine alarms, prepare for lots of questions and a very thorough search.
If you're learning something new here, hit the like button and drop a comment with your wildest airport story. It helps support the channel and lets us share even more travel secrets with you.
Speaking of detection, some of the best noses in the business aren't human. That's number 6. 6. Dogs on duty. Those wagging tails you see trotting through the terminal aren't just there for cuteness. They're working dogs, and they're one of TSA's most effective tools. These canines are specially trained to detect explosives, narcotics, and other contraband, and their noses are absolutely extraordinary. While humans might smell a burger from across the room, a trained dog can detect the faintest chemical trace buried under layers of fabric, plastic, or even food masking attempts. Their sense of smell is estimated to be tens of thousands of times stronger than ours, making them the ultimate four-legged detectors. You'll often see them weaving through security lines, sniffing bags, or casually walking past passengers. But don't be fooled by their calm demeanor. These dogs are constantly working. If one suddenly sits down next to you or your bag, that's not random. It's a trained signal to the handler that they've detected something suspicious. At that point, you can expect a closer look from TSA. And here's a fun fact. TSA dogs are so valued that when they retire from service, many are adopted by their handlers or placed into loving homes, with a retirement plan of sorts that ensures they're cared for after years of duty. But what if someone thinks they can outsmart both the dogs and the machines? Don't bother. That's number 5. 5. They've seen it all. Think your hiding spot is clever? TSA has already seen it and caught it. Over the years, officers have uncovered everything from guns stashed in jars of peanut butter, to drugs hidden in prosthetic legs, to live snakes tucked inside someone's pants. Yes, you heard that right. Snakes on a plane, attempted for real. The creativity of concealment never ends, but neither does TSA's ability to catch it. In fact, the numbers speak for themselves. In 2023 alone, TSA intercepted more than 6,700 firearms in carry-on bags at airports across the US. That averages out to nearly 20 guns every single day. What's worse, the majority of them were loaded. These weren't just forgotten pieces of metal. Many were fully ready to fire. Travelers often claim they forgot the gun was in their bag, but security can't afford to take that chance. Every weapon gets flagged, confiscated, and handed over to law enforcement. And it's not just firearms. Knives, tasers, brass knuckles, even throwing stars have been spotted in bins. TSA officers often say that nothing surprises them anymore. If you've thought of a hiding spot, someone has already tried it and failed. Their job is to expect the unexpected, and decades of bizarre discoveries have sharpened their instincts. So, before you even think about slipping something questionable into your carry-on, remember, TSA has seen it all. That clever idea won't just get caught. It'll also get you fined, detained, or worse. But while TSA has mastered spotting contraband, they've also mastered something else, keeping us on our toes. And that's exactly where number 4 comes in.
4. Expect the unexpected. Ever notice how TSA rules seem to change every single time you fly? One day you're told to keep your shoes on, the next you're peeling them off like it's a mandatory pre-flight ritual. Sometimes your iPad can stay tucked in your bag, sometimes it has to be laid out solo in its own bin, like it's a VIP guest. Frustrating? Absolutely. Random? Actually, yes, and that's the point.
This unpredictability is a deliberate tactic. By constantly shifting the procedures, TSA makes it harder for anyone with bad intentions to predict the system and find loopholes. If smugglers, traffickers, or worse, know exactly what the rules will be every time, they can plan around them. But when the rules feel inconsistent, it keeps would-be bad actors guessing. Think of it like airport chess. TSA moves the pieces around so the other side can't predict the next play. And it's not just about the security checkpoint. Those occasional extra screenings you get at the gate before boarding, same thing. They may feel inconvenient, especially when you're already juggling a coffee and a boarding pass, but they serve as another layer of unpredictability. Travelers never know when or where that added inspection will pop up, which keeps the system harder to game. So yes, while it can feel like TSA is making up rules on the spot, the randomness actually strengthens security overall. It's less about annoying passengers and more about staying one step ahead of anyone trying to exploit consistency. And speaking of consistency, TSA isn't only concerned with bombs and guns. They've uncovered everything from stolen goods to smuggled animals, which brings us straight into number 3. They'll report other illegal stuff too. A lot of people think TSA is just there to stop explosives or weapons from getting on planes, but that's only part of the picture. TSA agents are also the front line against all sorts of illegal activity. If they uncover drugs, stolen property, or even smuggled wildlife, they don't just shrug and toss it back in your bag. They call in the proper authorities immediately. They might not be DEA or Fish and Wildlife officers themselves, but they work closely with them, and that means your attempt to sneak something through can quickly turn into handcuffs and criminal charges. And yes, people really do try. Over the years, TSA has found everything from live tortoises stuffed into candy boxes to endangered bird eggs hidden inside socks. It never works. Every time, TSA catches it. These officers see thousands of bags every single day, and believe me, they know the difference between a box of sweets and a suspiciously heavy snack. It's worth remembering, TSA doesn't ignore contraband just because it's not a bomb. Once it's spotted, your trip could quickly detour from vacation mode to interrogation room.
And while strange items can definitely get you flagged, sometimes it's not even what's in your bag that lands you in hot water, it's your behavior. Because at number 2, we're talking about how your attitude can be just as suspicious as any object in your carry-on.
2. Don't fail the attitude test. One of the simplest, yet most overlooked rules of getting through TSA smoothly is this: be polite. It sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how many travelers treat the security line like a stage for their bad moods. Remember, TSA agents are dealing with thousands of people every single day. Sleep-deprived travelers, families juggling strollers, business flyers in a rush, and yes, the occasional cranky passenger who thinks rules don't apply to them. If you're rude, argumentative, or flat-out aggressive, you're painting a giant bullseye on yourself for extra screening.
Think about it. Why would anyone want to make life harder for the person who decides whether you get waved through or pulled aside? TSA officers have full discretion to send you for additional checks. And if you've just rolled your eyes, raised your voice, or snapped at them, guess which line you're going into? Hint, it's not the fast one. And it's not just about avoiding hassle. Being polite also helps the entire line move faster. A smile, a simple thank you, and following instructions keep things flowing for everyone. Plus, it puts you in a calmer headspace, which is invaluable when you're traveling. Now, while we're on the subject of behavior, here's the ultimate don't. Never joke about bombs, guns, or threats. TSA treats those words as immediate red flags. Even if you're just kidding, the result is no joke: detainment, missed flights, and in some cases, actual arrests. That's not the punchline you want for your vacation story.
And that brings us perfectly to number 1, the biggest rule of all, the one that trumps everything else on this list. Curious? Let's get into it.
1. Never joke about bombs.
This should go without saying, but apparently it still needs to be said. Every single year, travelers think it's funny to joke about bombs, guns, or hijacking while standing in a TSA line. Spoiler alert, TSA doesn't find it funny, not even a little. Even if you say, "I was just kidding," the agents are required to take it seriously. Why? Because airport security isn't in the business of giving people the benefit of the doubt when thousands of lives are at stake.
Here's what actually happens if you drop a so-called joke. The checkpoint will grind to a halt, passengers will be held up, alarms will go off, and TSA officers will swarm. You may be pulled aside, questioned for hours, and yes, handcuffed if necessary. Your bags will be searched, your flight might take off without you, and you could even face fines or federal charges. All because you thought a dad joke about explosives might lighten the mood. Spoiler, it won't.
And let's not forget your fellow passengers. They're already anxious about making it through security without losing their water bottle or laptop. Now imagine the tension when someone blurts out the word bomb within earshot of the scanner. Suddenly, you're not the class clown. You're the reason 300 people are late to their flights and missing connections.
The TSA has a zero-tolerance policy here. Words matter in airports, especially the ones tied to weapons or threats. Even a whisper can set off a full protocol, because agents can't tell the difference between a joke and a real danger until it's investigated. And honestly, do you want to be the person who gets remembered as that passenger in someone else's travel horror story? So here's the golden rule. Save the jokes until you're out of the airport. Crack them at baggage claim, in the Uber, or at the hotel bar. Literally anywhere else. At security checkpoints, stick to small talk about shoes, snacks, or how the line is moving too slowly. Because trust me, there's nothing funny about ending your vacation plans in an interrogation room. And there you have it, 14 TSA secrets and tricks of the trade. Did any of these surprise you? Next time you fly, you'll know what's happening behind the scenes. If you learned something new, hit that like button, subscribe for more travel content, and share your craziest TSA story in the comments below. Safe travels. And remember, the TSA is always watching. In the name of safety,